You know that person who never posts anything. Maybe they're your friend, maybe they're a ghost in your feed, or maybe that person is you. While everyone else is frantically documenting their holiday like they're being paid by a tourism board, and these people are simply having a holiday. While you might assume they're missing out or disconnected, the biological truth is far more provocative. They've figured out a secret that the rest of the world is too loud to hear. The less you feel the need to prove your life online, the more real, grounded, and biologically stable your life actually feels. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When was the last time you thought about posting a photo but then hesitated and deleted the draft? That gap, that split second of hesitation, is where your neurobiology is trying to save you from a catastrophic loss of self. In that moment, your brain is performing a high-speed, cynical calculation. Will people like this? Does this make my life look sufficient? Wait, is my existence interesting enough to earn validation from 247 followers I haven't spoken to since high school? This is what sociologist Irving Goffman called impression management. The idea that we all wear masks to control how the audience perceives us. But social media didn't just invent a new mask, it put that mask on a global stage. A hue with a billion-person audience that never sleeps and never forgets. In this economy, a bad post isn't just awkward, it's a permanent stain on your digital record that anyone can judge at any time. People who don't post are not boring. They are the only ones skipping the performance entirely to save their cognitive energy for things that actually matter. Research shows that roughly 30 to 40% of users are lurkers, people who scroll but never share. And while that sounds like a clinical insult, it's actually a sophisticated defense mechanism. A study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that when you combine the pressure to perform with the fear of being judged, something in the human psyche eventually snaps. The toxic mix of constant social comparison and privacy anxiety creates a state of social media exhaustion. Your brain's only way to protect itself is to go silent. Comparing your Tuesday afternoon reality to someone else's Saturday night highlight reel isn't just unhelpful. It is neurobiological poison. This brings us to self-determination theory, which states that humans thrive only when they feel in total control of their choices. Social media is the exact antithesis of this theory. It is a validation machine, where your self-worth is measured in real time by a fluctuating stock market of likes and reactions. The people who avoid posting aren't antisocial, they are guarding their autonomy and refusing to let a Silicon Valley algorithm dictate their confidence. They have realized that a sense of self that requires an audience to exist is not a sense of self. It's a hostage situation. When you see these quiet ones in person, they aren't miserable or lonely. In fact, they are often the most stable people in the room. They are living their life in high definition instead of filming it in compressed low-grade 4K for strangers. Here's the trap you don't see coming. Even when you know social media is a staged performance, your subconscious brain still falls for the lie. Psychologists have found that simply browsing without posting triggers an automatic involuntary comparison protocol in the brain. You see a promotion, an engagement ring, or a new house, and even though you know the lighting is fake and the caption is curated, the damage to your limbic system is already done. The quiet ones avoid this constant psychological attack because they know the game is rigged. Why join a competition where everyone else controls the camera angles and the narrative? This is why many people have shifted to YouTube, where they can binge a 3-hour video essay, but won't touch a 10-second TikTok. YouTube offers consumption without the crushing social pressure to perform. It's a passive relationship, where no one is tracking your aesthetic or wondering why you haven't posted in 3 months. They've found the loophole. They get the information and the entertainment without the tax on their identity. There is another clinical layer here, the trade-off between quantity and quality in human connection. People who avoid the digital stage tend to have fewer friends, but significantly deeper, more resilient relationships. They would rather have 5 people who actually know the messy details of their life than 1,000 people who liked a photo of their lunch. Quality friendships are a consistent predictor of long-term happiness. While social media metrics are a consistent predictor of anxiety and depression, 10 real conversations will always outweigh 10,000 digital reactions. And the quietest people are the ones who actually have the time to hold those conversations. These people are often super observers. They aren't checked out. They are paying closer attention than you realize. They notice the subtle change in your posting frequency, the shift in your tone, and the cracks in the stories that everyone else accepts as truth. They prefer understanding to performing and depth to the shallow noise of the broadcast culture. Psychologically, this is the difference between public self-consciousness and private self-consciousness. The poster is constantly asking, how will this look to them? The observer is asking, how does this feel to me? This isn't overthinking, it is high-level emotional intelligence. And the building of an identity that doesn't require a like to be valid. Choosing not to post is not an act of fear, it is a radical act of power and self-respect. It is the realization that some experiences are so valuable that they are actually devalued the moment they are shared for public consumption. That sunset is more beautiful when it's not being viewed through a lens. That achievement is more satisfying when it belongs solely to you. Researchers have found that people who rarely post show higher levels of self-reflection and are less affected by the emotional volatility of the digital world. They are playing a longer, more sustainable game than the rest of us. The great paradox is that the traits social media promises to give you, connection, community, and self-expression, are exactly what it takes away through the performance economy. Social media promised to bring us together, but instead it turned every human interaction into a public PR campaign. The people who opt out aren't rejecting connection, they are rejecting the terms of the contract. They are choosing privacy over posts, depth over followers, and presence over the endless, exhausting show. At the end of the day, nobody on their deathbed wishes they had posted more content or managed their digital brand more effectively. They wish they had lived more, felt more, and spent more time in the light where the cameras couldn't reach. The quiet ones aren't hiding in the shadows. They are the only ones who are truly standing in the sun. If this deep dive into the power of digital silence resonated with you, understand that your worth is not a public utility. You are more than the sum of your metrics, and your life is too important to be used as content for someone else's scroll. Join us at The Last Realists, where we strip away the performance and get down to the clinical truth of what it means to be human. Subscribe and hit the bell. Wait, because in a world that can't stop talking, the real power belongs to those who know when to be silent. Final frame, your silence isn't a void, it's a fortress. Protect your peace like it's the only currency that matters. Because in the end, the only audience that matters is the one you see in the mirror. Don't feed the algorithm, feed your soul. Log off, breathe, exist. The quiet ones are winning a game you didn't even know you were playing. It's time to take your life back from the broadcast. Your best moments don't need a caption. Click the next video to understand why boring is the new elite. We'll see you in the next exploration.